How I Met Your Mother is one of the most iconic sitcoms of the 2000s, and its very first episode wastes no time showing you exactly what kind of story it's going to tell. So, what made this the perfect pilot episode for this franchise? Let's break it down. The year is 2030, and we open with two teens on a couch. We have no idea who they are or why they are 25 years into the future. But then, we hear the voice. Kids, I'm going to tell you an incredible story. The story of How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, it's just saying the name of the show, but it hits so much harder than that. Sets the tone right away that this is not your everyday sitcom. This is a story, a very long, detailed story with detours, flashbacks, more layers than Ted Mosby's wardrobe. From there, our story begins with Ted Mosby explaining the life of a late 20s architect in New York City back in 2005. Having fun, drifting romantically, and all of a sudden looking to make a life shift into a romantically committed adult. This is no doubt a comedy, but the tone, lighting, and storytelling of it all gives a calmer vibe between the jokes. We're going to laugh a lot, but we're also going to fall in love with these people. This is a show that wasn't afraid to do both. And from the jump, it has a voice, a rhythm, a point of view. The narration in How I Met Your Mother is everything. From the first minute, we're locked into the show's long-form storytelling approach. Future Ted is our guide, and the show's most powerful weapon isn't just punchlines, it's structure. The entire series is framed as one big flashback, but within that, more flashbacks inside. Time jumps, cutaways, all woven together through the voice of the legendary TV father Bob Saget. And we have all been trained from Full House that when Danny Tanner talks, you listen. This becomes a narrative superpower. It lets How I Met Your Mother bounce between comedy and sincerity at the drop of a hat. It also gives conditioning to the thesis of the show, a dad telling his kids a very long, drawn-out version of how he met their mother. While so much of this show stands on the shoulders of sitcoms that came before it, is far from copy and paste. It's not boy meets girl roll credits. This is a journey, a very long journey. The plot of the pilot is simple, but it also follows one of the show's core values. It's relatable. Ted is feeling the pressure of Marshall and Lily's engagement, and he decides he's ready for love.
I'm ready. Where is she?
Not a casual dating, not hookups, the real thing. His single friend Barney, of course, thinks this is a terrible idea.
Don't even think about getting married till you're 30.
He tries to get Ted to hit the town, but Ted's mind is already made up. He wants to fall in love. Enter Robin Scherbatsky. She meets Ted at the bar. There's immediate chemistry. She's witty, cool, loves dogs. Ted feels like his prayers have been answered. An A-tier wifey material lady walks right into his life. They have their first date, and it's going as well as it can go. Flirting, learning about each other. They steal a blue fridge horn because this show is quirky and they do that kind of stuff. And then Ted, a man just trying to find his wife, says the worst first date line anybody could say, "I think I'm in love with you." And Robin reacts how any sane person would react. She panics. But again, the show's strength is in the framing. Future Ted is walking us through this like it's a moment burned into his memory. He's laughing at himself, but he's also reminding us this was the moment that everything changed. You know you're watching a Nexus event in the life of Mosby. Everything about this feels like a story of how you meet your wife, and then Saget drops the bombshell. And that, kids, is the true story of how I met your Aunt Robin. Boom, mic drop. The rest is history. As much as this show is about the twists and turns, the catchphrases and inside jokes, none of it works without a stellar cast of characters. The pilot knows that and introduces each one of them with intention. Ted Mosby, our main character, our hopeless romantic. Ted is ambitious but cautious, smart but neurotic. He's the kind of guy who thinks proposing on a first date is romantic and not terrifying and creepy. But most importantly, he's the leader of the show and the audience's eyes in the scene. You're supposed to question his choices, but you're also supposed to root for him. And for so many seasons, that holds up until it doesn't. Next up, Marshall Erickson, Ted's roommate and best friend, law student, a gentle giant, and low-key the heart of the show. One of the best nice guys in TV history. Marshall is living the life Ted wants without even trying. Jason Segel's Marshall is one of those characters who can fit into any scene, any situation, at any time. From the very first episode, he establishes himself as a fan favorite, alongside Lily Aldrin, Marshall's fiancée and Ted's longtime friend. She's a kindergarten teacher, an artist, and the grounding presence of the group. Lily's introduction could have been one note, the girlfriend, right? But she is there, making jabs and going out for drinks just as much as anybody else in the gang. Her dynamic with both Ted and Marshall sets the tone for future episodes. She isn't just in the group, she helps hold it together. Much like Marshall, Lily can fit into most situations, but she shines at her best when she's helping others get through their problems. In comes Barney Stinson. Here we go. The wild card, the quote machine, and in many respects, the face of the franchise. Seinfeld had Kramer, Entourage had Ari Gold, Always Sunny has Frank Reynolds. The chaos agent is an industry standard, and that's Barney. From the second he enters the scene, he's electric, loud, inappropriate, and manipulative, and somehow still charming. The guy who pushes Ted outside of his comfort zone and brings some of the best catchphrases of the era. It's hard to believe that his best line may be delivered in the very first episode with the "Have you met Ted" bit.
Hi, have you met Ted?
We could list them all here, but there's simply not enough hours in the day. If anyone in the show would have gotten a spin-off, it would have been Barney, and for a taste of that, check out the Harold and Kumar franchise. Finally, Robin Scherbatsky. At the buzzer, she enters the group as the new face, the proverbial girl across the bar. Out of all the Irish pubs in all of Manhattan, she walks into Ted's. Robin is confident, driven, and exactly what Ted is looking for. She's positioned as the love of his life, but thanks to the cliffhanger, we know she's not that woman. That twist, that this is Aunt Robin, not Mom, reframes her character immediately. It tells us not only is Robin going to be a complicated chess piece in this story, but we're really starting from the beginning. Until you build mystery in a pilot, give the people just enough. Bonus character, New York City. While How I Met Your Mother is far from the first sitcom set in the Big Apple, few have made this city a character quite like this show. In almost every story told across the show, NYC plays a huge role. As a kid from the Midwest, most of what I love about New York City now stems from this show for all the right and wrong reasons. A good pilot introduces ideas. A great pilot establishes rules. Here's what the How I Met Your Mother pilot locks in right away. The narration format, framing every episode as a piece to a larger puzzle. The central question, who is the mother? The longest cliffhanger in TV history. The friend group as a unit. This isn't just Ted's story, it's their story. Barney's energy, the show's comedic tone, thrives off that unpredictable wild card. And the importance of McLaren's Pub, this gang's central perk, their home base. The emotional pendulum this show can swing from jokes to gut punches in seconds, and the theme of timing. Ted meets someone great, but it's not the right time. The last one is huge. Timing becomes a massive theme to the series. People in the right place, wrong time. Right person, wrong phase of their life. It all starts here, and it's really the core of the show. Looking at the pilot as a standalone episode, it holds up pretty well. It's funny, it's warm, it's structured, the dialogue moves, and the pacing is tight. And most importantly, it promises more. There's a mythology here, a mystery box, but not in the J.J. Abrams kind of way. This is a character-based mystery that lasts for many, many seasons. We're not watching to find out who the mother is. We're watching because we care about who Ted becomes by the time he meets her and how he meets her. And that's the magic trick of How I Met Your Mother. It disguises itself as a love story, but it's really a coming-of-age sitcom disguised as a romantic epic. Throw in some great writing, constantly making fun of your friends, and a handful of choice musical numbers, got ourselves a hit. The pilot of How I Met Your Mother is everything a first episode should be. It's efficient, it's romantic, it's funny, it's ambitious, and it sets the stage. It introduces a group of characters that, if you're anything like the rest of us, you're going to spend the next 9 seasons completely falling in love with. So grab a beer, sit back and relax, because this story is just getting started, and boy, is it gonna take a while.